Hey, everybody. Good Monday morning. Today is town hall, and also this is a big week in our country because tomorrow is election day, and that makes for a lot of interesting decisions across our country. That leads me to a book I wanted to share. This is called Sometimes People March, and this book talks about what people do, some of the things that people choose to do, some of the local actions people choose to take when they want to make a statement. Voting is one way to take local action and make a statement. And for our national election, you have to be 18 or older to vote. But what's kind of cool to think about is that all of you will vote one day. And it is a big responsibility and a big deal. So you want to make sure that anyone above 18 in your household has used their right to vote. This book, again, talks about some of the reasons people march. So let's take a look at it. Sometimes People March. It's really a beautiful book. It was just published. Now, this first page might throw you off a little bit. It says, sometimes ants march. Do you see them marching along like they're at a picnic and they're enjoying watermelon? Sometimes bands march. Sometimes people march. Give me a thumbs up if you have been included in a march, either out in Portland or even at Vestal, because we have had some of our own marches. Awesome. Lots of you have been involved. Marching is something people do together when they want to resist injustice or when they notice a need for change. Some of you may remember when you were in kindergarten, you did a big action of cleaning up trash. Looks like that's what these people are doing too. People march for many reasons. People march for the things they care about and people that they love. This says, welcome home. People march for the health of their bodies and their communities and the world. So it looks like this is a protecting a water march. People march for the freedom to love and live and learn. Sometimes people carry signs to carry their stories of resistance. I'm not going to read all of these signs, but I do want to point out a couple of them. Black Lives Matter. We had a Black Lives Matter march 2 years in a row at Vestal, and I hope we have another one. Access is a civil right. Votes for women. Kind of hard to believe, but in this country, it used to be that women could not vote. And of course, now women can. We will love and protect each other. March for our future. March for our lives. Act up, fight back. Stop the war. Climate justice. Rise up. So lots of different signs that show what people are marching for. People resist in many ways. Sometimes people resist with their voices. They might resist with words. So this shows a typewriter, which we don't use typewriters anymore, but we use computers now. If we want to type up a letter and explain what we really want. This also says, or with songs or art. I know that Ms. Steele has talked about using art for social justice before. People resist with meetings. They resist by standing up or sitting down or taking a knee. These are all different ways that people can show what they feel and what they need to change. It isn't always easy. Feet get tired, arms get tired, hearts and hopes get tired. Sometimes problems even seem too big and complex. But we do not march alone. Ants are stronger together. Bands are louder together. People are more powerful together. And sometimes from feelings of fear or anger or injustice comes the hope for change. Here's the word hope right now on a big poster. I love that word. Sometimes great change starts small with even a brave question. Maybe your question, a question that calls people together. and together we find the courage to march. And then here in the back of this book, look at all of these examples of different movements and marches, times when people stood together to make a change. So I thought this was a really great book. I think it's one that we'll talk about a lot at Vestal because of our focus on local action. But right now, you can be watching and paying attention this week to see what happens after the election. Do people march? Do they come together? Do they write letters, make signs? Lots of different things. So you will want to pay attention to that. Okay, we'll talk to you soon.